Hey guys, this is B and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about my current fountain pen collection. What you see here is this is arranged from when I first purchased the pen to the latest one, this 2020. So let's begin. Let me set these things aside first. So the very first pen is this one. This is a Lamy Safari, all black, including the nib. And this is using an F nib size. And when I purchased this pen, this was back in January 2019 through Sizziply's 50th anniversary during that time. And this was on a discount, so I bought this pen together with the cartridge, the ink cartridge, because I didn't know if I was using the cartridge or the converter. I didn't really know. I purchased this on a whim. And after using this, I used it for I think June or July of that year. I finished 2 cartridges right away. And then that's also when I tried to understand and learn more about fountain pens. I learned most of them through YouTube. I actually watch a lot of videos coming from the Goulet Pens. That's a very educational channel to learn about fountain pens because they're also a retailer at the same time. And after finishing those 2 cartridges, that's when I decided that I bought the converter so that I can use the ink that I like. And that's when pen number 2 comes in, which is same thing. It's still a Lamy Safari. This is one of their limited editions, the pastel ones. And when I purchased this pen, this is an EF size. I also purchased this Lamy notebook, which you have seen from my previous video. And together, let me just grab it, together with this ink. So this is the crystal ink line that they have for Lamy, and the color is called Azurite. And this is the same ink that is currently inked up on the Kakuno one that I use for my Jibun Techo. So that's the one that we have for, oh yeah, I forgot. I got this August. And then, same year still, I purchased my 3rd fountain pen. This is by Sailor. And the nib size in here is different because this is carrying medium fine. So when we talk about this, and this is Sailor is a Japanese brand. Lamy is from Germany. And I learned from the Goulet Pens channel that when it comes to fountain pens, it depends on the thinness that you like or the thickness. Typically for Japanese brands for pens, when we talk about their nib sizes, I think for the fine and extra fine, it is much thinner than the Western ones. So if let's say this is an extra fine, this is medium fine, they're like same width, almost the same. After this one, my husband actually made me a case for a fountain pen, which is this one right here. If you follow me on Instagram, you have seen this photo, so it fits right in here. And whenever I bring my fountain pens anywhere, usually I will just bring 1 or 2, or usually it's just like this because this one I don't put it inside. I use the case for it. And then before we go to the next pen, I would like to quickly mention this guy right here. And this is not my pen. I did post this also in Instagram. This is the pen that I gifted to my husband. And this is by the company Kaweco. It's a Steel Sport, and this is all stainless steel. And inside it is carrying a nib size of extra fine. And then the converter, it also comes with cartridge, but I've finished off the cartridge. So for the converter, it is this small. So if I actually compare, it's a little bit small for its ink capacity, but nonetheless he likes it. He does make nice signatures when using this pen, and sometimes I do borrow this one from time to time. And also, I think I haven't mentioned it, when I use a fountain pen, even if it's this small, I never post my pen. So usually you put that one in here and then hold it like this. It has a bit of weight to it because of the material, but even though for the rest of the pens I never post them. I don't know if it's just me or if there's somebody else out there who doesn't do that as well. Let me know. And then the next pen that we have, that I acquired, is a platinum Preppy. So this is 02, and 02 is equivalent of extra fine. So because I accidentally purchased a medium fine right here, if I'm gonna rank it for the western part for the type of pens, this is like, if I have fine, I have extra fine, so this is like extra fine. So because it's thinner, and it has that same slip and seal mechanism. So this is by Platinum, and they are claiming that even if the pen is ink for, I think that was 2 years, you can still write on it when you want to use the pen. Obviously I haven't tested that one since I only got into fountain pens last 2019, but I did like this pen, and it's almost like I went on a phase with demonstrators so I can see the ink, and then after that I wanted to see if there's something that's much thinner than this one. And that's when I came across the next set of pens, which is by the company called Pilot. So this is Pilotkakuno. I have all sizes. This is extra fine, fine, and medium. And then what you have on the nib itself, it has like smiling faces actually. So the extra fine and the fine, I don't know if the camera is picking that up. Yep, it has the same design of smiling face, and then the medium one is a little different. And then this was also the time that apart from watching Goulet Pen's website, the YouTube channel, I also came across on their website that's called the Nib Nook. And that's a good resource to see if there's a fountain pen that you like and you wanted to see how it likes or how it compares to other brands, because they're an online retailer shop, so they pretty much have a lot of examples that you can find. And if I compare the Platinum over this one, by far, even on their website, I think this is the thinnest when it comes to fountain pens. They're extra fine. So it is, if I go to, I'll use my samples previously. So if I have fine, I have extra fine, and then I have extra fine. So this is triple extra fine. So I think the reason behind Japanese brands in general have thinner nibs, or when especially when you write small handwriting, you may lean towards Japanese brands. It's because the way they write. So unlike when you write like in English, it really depends on your comfort. And for me, because for the most part, in my beginning stages of my fountain pen journey, I actually look all of these things here. So this one is medium fine and this is medium, but the rest are all extra fine and fine nibs. So I guess people go on phases with different sizes of nibs, and primarily because of my handwriting. And then as I go through my fountain pen journey, obviously it has piqued interest for other peoples as well who are curious. And I think I purchased the next pen here on 2020 or at the end of the year. I have this pen right here. It's still by a Japanese brand called Pilot. This is a Pilot Petite, and I call this as my tester fountain pen. And I learned about this fountain pen through a podcast that I also follow, or that I listen and follow in Spotify. That is called the Nib Section. So I think it was Sharon who said about this ones. And amongst all of my fountain pens here, obviously this is the cheapest as well. And even with this size, so if I do a quick size comparison between Kakuno and then the Petite, coming from the same brand, so the length is shorter. And then if I also compare it to the Kaweco one, almost have the same height. But I guess when you open the pen, let's see. Yeah, it is a tad shorter in length. And this is the pen that I let people use if they want to try out fountain pens, or if they're curious or they want to know or whatever. And this, when you buy the Pilot Petites, this you can buy the cartridges as well. I think this is, let me see, this is, yeah, almost, yeah, halfway for the ink. And then I've seen a couple of videos where people convert this to an eyedropper. I'm not into that. If ever the ink is finished, I will just refill those with ink using maybe just using this one to refill it in, or get another set of cartridges, since this is mostly a tester fountain pen. And after this one, my next pen, it's a memorable one, and I got the TWSBI. So this is, let me see, this is a TWSBI TWSBI Diamond 580 ALR, and this is my first piston filler type of pen. So if I compare this pen with the other pens right here, the ones that you've seen so far are either using a cartridge or a converter. And in this case right here, I bought this back in March 2020, this year. And this one is a memorable thing for me because when I purchased this pen, this is also the time where I attended my first pen meet. So it's actually called like Ladies Night. It was hosted by Pen Gallery, and I learned a lot from different people, made new friends. And the ink that you see slushing around inside is by a company called Vinta Inks. I didn't know my own country makes their own set of inks and pens, and it's this thing right here. So if I open, let me open show you the bottle. So the bottle just looks like this one, and then the name of the color is Aegon Armada. So it even has like that little switch thing. And then what I like about this pen, it's actually the one that's ink here, and also the last pen that I acquired, it changes its color. So it's like, if you see it, it's like there's a shade of green. You will see that once you start writing, but then once it dries out, it becomes gray. Most of the inks that I've been buying as well are either the shades of purple and gray. That's it. And I didn't know that you can, even when you buy this pen, you can actually add like an extra nib. I think that was a stub nib that you can get, and you can just replace the nib by using the same body. And then it's almost the same as this two right here, where you can actually remove this one, and then you can interchange the nib sizes, because this one, when I got this came with a stub nib as well. And then after this pen, this is also what I have started using when I did my daily writing because of the pandemic. After that, my next pen, which is also a first for me, is this one. I purchased this coming from Pen Gallery, same as where I got this, and I purchased this during my birthday. And this is my first retractable pen. I think they're the only ones who make retractables. This is from Pilot, and at the same time, this is a gold nib. So the ones that you've seen so far are all stainless steel nib, and then this one is gold. The size of this is fine, and the complete name is Pilot Vanishing Point Stripes. So this is like all steel. And then this pen, I refill the ink differently compared to the other ones. I do remove, because inside it has this thing. It also came with a converter, but I don't use that. And then what I do is, I don't want this touching the ink, so instead I will use this one. So this is one that dips on the bottle of ink and then put in here, and then from here you put it to this end and then close it, and then when you insert it back, it has that certain groove to it, so whatever happens, it goes to that same direction. And then you just close the pen. And then I love this feeling, this one. I can do this, yeah. I tend to stop this type of habit, but you know that tactile feel? Yeah. And I enjoyed writing this one together with the rest of the pens as well. And after this, there was, I think, a couple of months after, like just this last October, I saw an Instagram post from Pen Gallery, and then that was a photo of another type of pen of this kind, and I just commented, and I was surprised that I got a message if I was interested with that type of pen, and I couldn't say no, because the next pen is this one right here. So this is also a Vanishing Point. Its complete name is Pilot Vanishing Point in Raden stripe, if I'm not mistaken. And same thing, This one is using an M size nib, and what I like about these is even if because it has this abalone shell, and then it has that same thing that I do. Whenever you close this guy right here, whatever you do, it matches on both sides. So I don't know if the camera is picking it up or not, but yeah, the camera doesn't do justice. This is a very beautiful pen. I think this is the most expensive one that I got so far, yeah. And last but not the least, we got this pen. So this one is also by Lamy, and this pen is a bit different compared to the others, because if you see, there's already, I think I mentioned it earlier, there's already like that trend of, let me just set this aside. So there's already a trend of me acquiring pens in the extra fine and fine department. I did get medium for this one and this one. However, this is a big jump, and this is like calligraphy style fountain pen. And inside in here, I have a 1.1 stub nib. And when I ordered this came, the nib that I initially selected was 1.5, but I got the 1.1 free on this one. So for me, as to not to scare myself for a major jump between the nib sizes, I'm using first the 1.1, and this one has a converter inside. So once this is finished, I'll probably swap out the 1.5 and then see how it goes from there. There you have it. These are my pens that I own, and thank you for watching.